Hey everybody, I'm Trish Witkowski from Fold-factory.com and welcome to That's Fold-tastic for Design TV. In this episode, we're going to be talking about high-impact folding trick number 2, directional and format changes. Now I think a lot of us when we're designing for folded material, we get stuck in kind of standard formats. You know, we get stuck in that kind of upright 4x9 format, and it's very practical and it has its purpose and it's great, but you know, maybe you're looking for a way to freshen things up, you know, to try something different, but you don't have a whole lot of budget. Maybe you just want to do a tweak, a change, something new to make it feel fresh and different. So I've got a lot of great different examples to show you today that will kind of illustrate for you the impact of a directional or format change. So we're going to start with accordions. I think a lot of us know accordion folds. They've got that great kind of zigzag back and forth format. You know, so we're used to kind of an upright format that we see all the time, which is great, it works. But what if you tried a tall, narrow format? This is a great piece by Michael Stargill Photography and printed by Colorcraft of Virginia. And this has just a tall, really narrow format, which is very nice. And since he's a photographer, he could do some great things with the imagery. So you can see a large image on this side, and then he could really play with, you know, this is one large image across two panels, some smaller images stacked. So, you know, it just has a very nice feel and really nice graphic impact. So that's just cool. Love this piece. So now let's do a format change. So let's go from an upright, narrow format to an oblong format. So this is a piece for Playworld Systems printed by Schmitz Press in Baltimore. And this is also nice. So this is an oblong format, totally different feel to it than the other piece. And this one pulls into a long format accordion like this. And this was kind of neat. It was a marketing piece for a you know, to tell people to go to their booth at some sort of a show or something. So it has a big long message. The great thing about these horizontal formats is you can, you know, do these big long messages or things. There's a lot of space for graphics. So that's a format change. Now let's talk directional change. So let's say we took this format, but instead we turned it so that it pulled down. So, you know, still same folding style, but what if you just kind of thought differently about the direction of the graphics? So directional change. Okay, so format, directional change. And from a printer's perspective, the folding style is the same. They don't care if your cover faces, your graphics face in this direction or not. It's really how do they produce the piece. And I want to take a moment to talk about that for a minute, kind of the mechanics of folding. You want to make sure when you do a format change, or you do anything that's kind of outside the norm, even something that seems subtly outside the norm, you know, you want to make sure that you get your printer in the loop and involved early. Because you may not realize that you've kind of crossed a threshold, kind of an invisible threshold. Like here's a perfect example. Most folding machines max out at 6 parallel folds, so 6 plates that do parallel folds. So if you have more than 6 parallel folds or folds that are parallel to each other, then you get into either you know, extra machinery, hand folding. This piece has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've crossed that threshold, so there's probably some hand folding in here. So, you know, you may think, oh, we'll just throw a couple extra panels on here, but you may have crossed an invisible threshold that put you into a more expensive form of finishing. So just talk to your printer early, get them involved, and make sure that whatever you're doing is within your budget, and then go crazy. So that's accordion. Let's move on to roll folds. This is nice. This is, you know, again, we see roll folds that kind of have the panels that roll in toward themselves. You know, you see a lot of these in that kind of upright 4x9 format, but this is just such a pretty piece. I love this one. It's just a large kind of blown out format, just a bigger upright. It just feels substantial, feels really nice to hang on to, large panels. So, you know, a lot of breathing room, a lot of space for nice illustrations and graphics. This piece is for Americans for the Arts, and just a really pretty piece, but this larger format just gives you so much more to work with, and you know, a lot of nice space for illustrations or graphics. So I love that. So let's now take that and turn it and change the format into an oblong format. This was a piece by Nina Paper. I love this one too, and this is an oblong format roll fold. So this has, and it even has a little die cut on the cover, which is a nice touch. The theme is kind of an arrow theme, so this creates a long arrow, which is really nice, and they work it into the graphics as well. So just a great piece, and again, simple. It's just a roll fold. It's the exact same fold. It's a 4-panel roll fold, just like this previous piece I showed you. Just an entirely different look and feel. So, when you think about that and the different folds and formats that you're doing, you can really apply these principles and change things up really dramatically. And again, could just as easily be a vertical in format. So, very cool. Now let's go on to gatefolds here. This is a nice, another kind of taller, narrow format. This was by Keystone Resources for Agency 8. And this is nice. They even did a die-cut rounded corner, which was just a nice little element there, a little extra touch. This is a closed gate format. And the tall format just gives you a lot of extra space and real estate for graphics and things, and a lot of breathing room. So just gives it an interesting format. Again, this is pretty narrow, but nice and tall. So let's take that format again and change it into an oblong format. And here's another closed gate, but it's a long oblong format. And again, these oblong formats give you an opportunity. This says, are you ready to go big? This was for reachyourcity.com. So, you get these nice opportunities for longer layouts, longer messages, graphics, things like that. So this is a neat piece too. And again, it feels like worlds apart from the piece that I just showed you. But again, exact same folding style. It's a 4-panel closed gate. So pretty neat. So when you start to think that way, you can realize just how many opportunities there are to do something really different with even some very basic folded formats. So one additional word of caution, and that is when you're going to change a format, you just want to make sure that you understand the kind of the end destination of the piece. And the reason I say that is because maybe a piece that you're working on was specified in a certain size or format because it's meant to fit into a custom literature holder, or maybe it's sized specifically for USPS specifications, to fit into a standard envelope or a special custom envelope, or a folder. Some things, get filled out and dropped into a folder and they have to be a certain size. So just make sure you understand where it's going and get the green light before you go crazy with your format and direction changes. But otherwise, have a blast. So I hope you enjoyed high impact folding trick number 2, format and directional changes. Thanks for watching. That's Fold-tastic. Please visit foldfactory.com for more ideas and inspiration, and to sign up for my 60-second super cool fold of the week. So until next time, I'll see you. Bye.